We all wanna change. We all wanna be somebody else. I wanna visit all the places nobody goes. I wanna teach all the things that nobody knows. I wanna grow wings, leave the coop, learn to fly. Bungee jump from the tallest building in Dubai. I wanna fly around town in my UFO. I wanna eat real food, not the...
Welcome back to Desertwood Days. I'm your host, Kathy Blaze, and I am here with the amazing Kevin Phipps, filmmaker, acting coach, writer. I don't know what else, but welcome.
I don't know what else either. No.
Handsome.
Oh, that's it. That's for sure.
Kevin, I just have to ask you this.
Yeah.
You are so funny, super talented. Why teach actors?
When I originally got into it, it was to be a better director. And then what happened was I realized I loved it so much that it gave me so much joy that it was second to, not even second, it was equal with directing.
Oh, that's...
So then I just fell in love with it. And when you see
Wow.
actors have those aha moments and
Yeah.
they find the truth in their performance, it just blows my mind. So, and it feels like a lot of power.
Yes, yes, that's awesome. What method of teaching do you use and why?
Sure. I teach mostly the Meisner technique. Comes out of New York.
Okay.
I studied standard philosophy in Udahagen, but I found that I couldn't quite resonate with it as a director. So when my friend called me and said, hey, you should come to LA and check out this Meisner technique,
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll appeal to what you're trying to do.
Oh.
And so that's basically it. That's why.
So for our audience that may not know about
Sanford
the Meisner,
Meisner.
can you just give a little explanation of what that method, what it is? What do you do?
Yeah, definitely. Sanford Meisner, his whole thing is, I think, like a lot of techniques, being truthful in an imaginary circumstance. But he shied a little bit away from the method type of technique, and wanted to do something in his way he felt was a little healthier, as far as the way that you approach your technique or the way you approach your truth on stage. So he found a way to help actors get inside of themselves, really talk, really listen, get out of their head when they're performing,
Right.
and without, reliving past traumas, which I know is kind of a fallacy when it comes to the thoughts about Strasbourg and Stanislavski and things like that.
A lot of us need to get out of our head and quit because we tell ourselves some of the worst things. So, get out of there.
Yeah, I usually spend the first year just getting actors out of their head.
Right, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
You started a acting class, and it's called the it's called the Artist Box.
Mm-hmm.
What does the Artist Box mean to you?
Sure. At one point, I had someone, when I first posted the Artist Box, and when I was starting the company, I had some person say, well, you don't want to put actors in a box. I'm like, that's not necessarily what I mean. I kind of look at it because I come from a painting background and a comic book background and things like that, and an art background. So for me, it was like all my cool tools, my canvas, my palette, and how I like to work as an actor or as an artist. And so that's kind of the way I felt about it. It was like, this is my personal box, and I'm going to pull out all the tools that I use in order to express myself fully.
And that's a great way of looking at it, because most people look at being in a box, it's like I'm stuck.
Right.
And I've been here, and I'm in here not for positive reason.
Right.
Whether I'm hiding from something, or there's just not something going right. So I love that analogy on why you created the Artist Box. You are also you're an acting coach, filmmaker. How do these two fields benefit each other?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a huge question. I find that it is imperative that directors need to understand actors. Because I think sometimes they can become monitor directors. And what I mean by that is they kind of leave the actor to their own devices and not help guide them and push them to tell the story that they need to tell on screen.
Right.
And so that's exactly why I learned acting, was because the two are perfectly harmonious. And so for me, it has changed my whole entire life.
Do you find yourself coaching a lot while you're on set?
I try not to, because, at that point, my job is to direct.
Right.
But the other thing is I don't want to be condescending to an actor. So I turn on the director brain, and I push in a different way. Definitely. Last time, right at the tail end of COVID, the beginning of COVID.
Okay.
We did one last scene for our feature that's coming out in next March, and it's in post-production sound right now. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself working a lot with your students?
I have because it gives them an opportunity, but also I think it's because we know each other so well.
Uh-huh.
But technically, a lot of my films are about 50-50.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So do you find some of the other actors, are they pretty much Meisner, or do they use different techniques? And if they use the different techniques, how is that working with them?
Oh, it's great because luckily I have a kind of a knowledge of a little bit of every technique, because I think you have to as a director.
Okay.
So I can't just be like, I'm only a Meisner director. And I think that calling attention to a technique would not actually be good for a film, right?
Right.
So it all comes around to be truthful in the moment. So it doesn't matter if it's any of the techniques, because it's not about the technique.
Right.
Yeah. So for me, I have to know. I have about 4 or 5 different ways of working with actors, just so that if I get like 4 or 5 different techniques.
So Kevin, how does it feel as an acting coach when you see your actors taking that major leap, and they're moving to LA and they're working and they're really seeing the fruit of their labor? How does that feel as an acting coach?
It makes me feel like, number one, they're doing the work. They're doing the hustle, which is great. But number two, I hope that any coach would feel absolutely not only just amazing, but honored to be on that journey.
Be all humble, let them know. Yeah, I feel good.
I do feel good, and I'm like, cool. More people will take my classes. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it is truly phenomenal. And we're always communicating. I'll get calls from actors in LA and say, hey, can you coach me through an audition? And stuff like that. So, when they get it, yeah, definitely.
I know quite a few of your students, and I know a lot of them are doing amazing things.
Yeah.
I'm just honored to know them and to be able to see the work that they're doing, because some of them I've worked with before.
Yeah. And I even got compliments from, networks saying your actors are consistent and they're constantly doing the take after take after take and being truthful.
What's going on with the Artist Box right now?
Right now it's online, of course.
Okay.
We had to actually close the main studio down.
Okay.
During this. We actually got rid of it and gave it to a photographer.
Oh, okay.
And my beautiful fiance, the strong, amazing woman that she is, pushed me into going online. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this online. And she's like, yes, you can, and you will.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
No.
That's what everyone's pretty much doing right now. It's going online, doing virtual classes.
Yeah.
So have you started your virtual classes? I
have.
Okay.
And I had this great session last week where everybody was like really breakthrough moments. And I was like, okay, this can work. This can actually work.
So for a student and an aspiring student to want to take place in one of Kevin Phipps' classes, what is it that they're what are they going to look to?
Sure. It's a ground-up program, so they're going to have to really get into the idea that you're going to start from the beginning and we're going to go all the way to the top. And the very first thing is, which a lot of people are scared of, is I'm going to really demand that truth out of you and how you see the world and your point of view, because that's the source of all character. And then getting them out of their head and really communicating and all these things. So that's just the first year. And then,
so how long is the program?
It's about 2 years.
It's about 2 years?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. And that's a dedication when you're ready to go into this field. You have to dedicate your time and resources to that.
Absolutely. And because it's not necessarily for the tourist.
Right.
I love it when people come and see if that's something they really want to do.
Right.
But it is for people that are like, I want this to be a career.
They're ready.
Yeah.
They're ready for a career in acting. How did you get into like I said, you're a funny man. I don't love you. Your humor. And that's
so much pressure.
That's a good thing. When did you first start getting into this genre of work?
More of the surrealistic drama type of stuff. It's ironic you say that, because I actually feel very uncomfortable in the comedic area.
Do you?
Yeah. I tried directing it, but I just feel like my pacing is all over the place and things like that. So for me, I think...
Maybe you got to get out your head.
Probably. Yeah, I know. I think I find that, the more fun type people really can have you ever seen like really nice people play really great evil people?
Yes.
And have you noticed that?
Yeah.
And so I find that that's kind of a similar thing for me. I'm a really fun, loving, caring person, which means I get to play in the film side of it very dark.
Right. So where can our audience find you?
You can find me on, of course, Facebook, Kevin Phipps Official. You can find the Artist Box on Facebook as well. And then Instagram under under Kevin Phipps as well. So.
It was a pleasure having you
Me
here
too.
today. Thank you
I love
for
you to death,
joining
lady.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today, and we'll catch you next time on Desertwood Days.